As a matter of fact, that was.
No more room in hell. The dead walk here.
What's up, Wait, are we live?
Yes, we are.
No, I'm just fucking with you guys. Yes, we are live. We have a special one for you guys tonight. This is going to be the first time we're going to do a live review. Normally, you see a polished, like you have no idea what Rick edits out. Let's hopefully, won't go that way. But we're going to be reviewing a new movie that just came out this weekend. But as you guys can see, we have a full panel here tonight. So before we talk about this movie that everybody, I think, was looking forward to this, let me introduce our panel. First, we're going to start with, obviously, the reason we're all here, the man, the myth, the legend, JR. This is one of your movies. You ready for this one?
I know, man. It's one of my movies, but we were all highly waiting for this one. Another marker for the Evil Dead franchise. Did it rise or was it a franchise demise?
Oh. And let me introduce, he's been here before. Obviously, he's a glutton for punishment. He's back again. Radar, what's up, man? You ready for this one?
Oh, yeah. Well, 10 years waiting for this bad boy to show up. It's about damn time.
10 years, shit.
Yes.
I go back to the original. But anyway,
Right.
Tonight we also have our unofficial fourth corner, our girl Lexi. Lexi, I know you were ready for this one too, right?
I am so ready. Yes. Yes, you're right. Going way back into the 80s. That's how long I've been waiting for this.
Oh yeah. I'm cult classic following here. So, and lastly, we have my beer brother here. Rick, how you doing?
We all cheer for big bottles of beer. Salute.
Well, I am Joe, the psychologist. And tonight, obviously, hopefully most of you guys went out this weekend and saw the release of the 2023 Evil Dead Rise. Damn, I hope I don't get the last name wrong because I did the snow notes. I'm trying to do this, all live. Lee Cronin is the writer and director. And it stars Alyssa Sutherland as Ellie and Lily Sullivan as Beth. So this movie, we're, at least for me, I feel we're introduced into another chapter into the Evil Dead universe. Because unless I missed something, I didn't think it picked up where the other one left off. But we're going to go around. I'm going to ask you guys questions. And anybody who's watching, if you saw the movie, you want to answer this question as I put it out, make sure you go ahead and do that. But I sent them all a format, and I'm not sticking to it. So I think for the first question, I want to know what you thought of the movie. And I'm going to start, it's going to be ladies first. Lexi, go ahead.
Thank you.
What did you think of the movie?
So for me, I absolutely loved it. Am I going to nitpick here for a second? Yes. I expected to be right back at the cabin like Evil Dead 2. And so when I was confused when we started at a cabin, just wasn't the cabin. And it was, the possession had already started. I like that it starts with action. We talk about this all the time. So it just started right off the bat. When we got into the modernized world of things, I love that they kept little things from Evil Dead originals, like the chainsaw and the blood everywhere, and the way the girl's covered in all blood with the chainsaw, just like Bruce was back then. I loved all those little things that mean a lot to us as horror fans. It was just different, it being in a modernized situation. Overall, badass movie. I loved it.
All right. Hey. All right, who am I going to go to next? Rick, what did you think of the movie?
Hi.
You're on mute.
Yeah.
Rick.
You're on mute.
All right.
It's probably me too.
You know what? I had a fancy opening dialogue. I just said, it's over. The moment's passed. So what up, Joe?
What's up?
Radar, stand up, Radar. Stand up.
What? Oh, Big Trouble in Little
Little
China.
China. I know.
Yeah.
This
I don't
guy,
have
last
any
time,
with that shirt.
last time he was here, what was he wearing? He wore something. I was like, yo, what the fuck? Yeah, bro. I had a great time. Great time in the theaters. Watching a movie like this in the cinema really reminded me how much I missed going to the theaters. It was the experience. I had a blast watching this, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
All right. JR, what'd you think of the movie?
Let me just say one thing.
Oh.
I'm gonna knock a little bit of Lexi's about the beginning of it. Tell me it wasn't badass when they showed her coming out the water and Evil Dead Rise come up.
Oh yeah, no,
Right,
that
too.
part was
That
badass.
was
Yeah.
so,
so cool.
That
freaking
was
amazing.
He took
I
my
have
first
no
point
bad
already.
about it. I
Sorry.
just didn't expect it.
It's okay, Rick. Same here. It's all good.
Oh, I mean,
We're not even starting the questions yet.
no, but I mean, to start a movie like that, and I know we kind of have a habit of, I know when we review a movie that when it has time jumps, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I thought this one kind of worked perfectly because it kind of led you to know that Cronin already talked about it. There are going to be more sequels.
Well,
and to top it off, not only was this film very entertaining, very gory, it actually had a storyline. So it kind of repeated what 2013 did. It actually brought these characters who are broken characters into basically the possibility of being harmed by these demons. And that's what 2013 was. But I kind of like they did that. And there was 3 things that they paid homage to in the originals. One of them, I'm just going to throw off the bat, is good to that Bruce Campbell was actually in this.
what? Where?
Find out,
Me and
Joe.
Rick had
Find
this
out, Joe.
conversation.
You don't know,
Yeah.
Joe? You don't know, Joe?
Yeah, no? Oh my God, Bruce
Oh my
Campbell
God,
was
what
in
the
here.
fuck?
Oh.
But Rick,
Oh,
you and
oh.
I talked about this. You said you didn't see him, and I didn't see him either.
I didn't see him either.
Oh,
All right.
you don't-
I'll have to look it up.
Keyword is C.
See is not
Alright.
the word.
Gotta smell him.
You said that. But JR, you said there was 2 other things though. You said there was 3 things. That was your first one.
Well, 3 things. The other one was the eyeball. The eyeball. Who
Yeah,
didn't
I
love
mean,
the eyeball? When
yeah,
they showed the
yeah.
eyeball, you're like, yes. And who didn't like that term? Come get some.
Yeah.
So yes, very fun movie. Have to watch it in theater. Do not wait for it to get streamed. You should watch it in the theater first and foremost.
All right. Well, Radar, my man, what'd you think of the movie?
You know, this was the first movie that I'd seen in theaters since Scream 5, and this was the perfect movie to get back into the theaters with. Because I feel like it'd be fine if you saw it at home, but how intense it is, it just gets ratcheted up to another level in the theater. And I went with my fiance, and she was gripping my hand the whole time, and it still has not recovered. I'm telling you, she might have broke my thumb. Good Lord.
Oh
But,
no! Go ahead.
Oh no, but gory, top-notch stuff. Evil Dead delivers, and I feel like Evil Dead is the only series that's up there with Scream that's just consistently good.
I will
That's
say
right, I
one
said it.
thing, bro. I will say one thing. I saw Scream 6 again a couple of days ago, and I didn't like it as much as I did the first time.
Really? I haven't seen it yet because I just
I
don't
won't.
want
I won't say
Alright.
nothing. I won't say nothing.
All right. But I mean, as far as for me, yeah, I'm probably. It sounds like out of the 5 of us, I'm going to be the one. I'm more over on this side because, for me, honestly, this was like my signs. There was another one I thought about. Oh, Hereditary, where I sat in the movie theater and the hype and anticipation that I had for it, it didn't live up for me. To be honest with you guys, like.
Oh,
Yeah, I just get Rick mad.
oh, finally.
No, I mean, again, and no, I
Bro, what movies you been watching lately? You didn't. How can you not enjoy that?
I just watched Terrifier pretty much before this, so there was something else leading before this that was a lot more gorier.
No.
That
Well, yeah, you're
but,
right.
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
we'll
I
talk
can see
about
that.
it.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
talk
I
about
can
it as
see
we go on. But honestly, like, yeah, I for it didn't. Even Adam, Adam, who I had to almost drag for this one because he's not a huge horror fan. It just, for me, the anticipation that I had for it. I mean, I am, Bruce Campbell, the original. I saw that the way that movie was cult following. Literally went to a college that I didn't attend to. I was still in high school, hanging out with some college kids who put a VCR tape and introduced me to this movie. So yeah, for me, honestly, like for it didn't
watch it again without the expectations.
Maybe that's what. And again, signs. Everybody talked up
So
signs
let me
to
ask
me.
you a question.
And
We're freestyling it now.
But Hereditary does suck.
Hereditary actually is an awesome movie.
No,
It didn't live up to the hype that it was given. No, and I put that one in my psychologist one. If you rewatch it a couple of times, if you look at the movie a different way, the problem is that movie was billed as one of the best horror movies. Scream is constantly good. Agreed. The last one.
You read that wrong.
Read that wrong. What did you read
Oh,
again?
sorry. It's never constantly good.
Kristen's coming for
The
us.
last one, no. The last one, I
That's
kind
the
of.
yin and the yang right here.
The last one, I wasn't happy about, the reveal. But again, I mean, this is what. Hey, there's nothing wrong if there's one voice on this panel that's actually going to be on the other side.
I thought that would be JR, not you. I'm surprised.
Again, like.
I was
I'll
gonna
put it
get
to
at
you
this
this
though.
way. I'll
What
put it
was
this
it
way.
you didn't like though? Because you're the first person that actually.
We'll towards the closing. I'll discuss that part.
No,
But
say it now. Say it now.
Say it
You already
now.
gave away
I
all
mean,
my points, so I got nothing to talk about. So come on.
It wasn't made in Malaysia.
no, actually, funny enough, yeah, yeah.
You know he's gonna get roasted all
I'm
live
gonna roast
stream
you
now.
on the next one, JR. Don't you worry. I got you on the next one. But it was, I wasn't enthralled with the characters. There's nobody that I actually rooted for, and I was kind of pissed. I just couldn't get my phone out and kind of scroll through a little bit.
Oh, bro, all right, next.
Yeah,
Next person.
so
Oh my God,
yeah.
no.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. You had me at characters because my one complaint I'll get to.
There
You're right.
was a point that the movie just got kind
You're
of
right,
like,
but-
I was just kind of like, I'm kind of bored right now. Like,
What? How the
Yeah,
hell? Oh,
yeah.
okay, all right.
Oof.
dude,
Wow.
and only smoked for it. So
Don't forget
I mean,
who edits your videos, bro. Don't forget that.
I know,
So,
but I'm
yeah.
saying,
Careful
only
what you
smoke for
say
it.
from here on out.
No, I know, but I mean, I didn't drink or anything, so like I went there pretty.
Wait,
clear.
you went there sober?
I smoked.
Okay,
But
that's fine.
Other than that, I went in pretty, clear-headed. But however, the
Nah,
movie did listen. It had some really good parts. Just for me, it just didn't live up
You're in the
for
minority, brother.
my own expectations, I guess.
I don't
And
know.
that's why I said it.
That's one thing
Signs, it
people
was
gotta stop
Hereditary.
doing. I always say that. Stop it with the expect. Don't watch trailers. Don't go in.
I went into Hereditary thinking I was going to see the scariest shit I ever saw in my
Hereditary
entire
had
life.
nothing behind
And
it.
I
How was-
walked
how
out of
was
there
that
going,
hype?
what the fuck was that? Like, no, the first watch of Hereditary, I'm like, what the? So,
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that was boring.
Hereditary
That was
lost it
boring.
when the girl lost her head.
Yeah,
my
you're
one
right.
of the worst things in there. But I mean, when I rewatch it again, maybe I'm going to change.
I think you will.
Yeah, you
But
will.
I agree with you though, Joe. The characters, yeah, I can see that.
And I think that was my problem. I wasn't rooting for anybody. I didn't have a final girl.
You don't need
you-
it, Joe.
you-
But that's
need it.
what's good about this.
Yeah.
Lexi mentioned she didn't like the fact that at first no cabin. That's understandable. But the fact that they took it out of the cabin and put it in
New
a
York,
New York apartment complex,
right
that's
after
a
Scream.
huh?
And right after Scream.
Nah, but forget Scream. I'm talking about-
Mhm.
Come on.
I'm not,
I know.
I don't
just-
mean. All right, forget New York. I mean, it's in an apartment. It could be
different.
anywhere.
It's a different. We were taken to a different
Yeah, yeah.
environment as opposed to
Yes,
the cabin.
it just felt
which-
completely different.
Yes.
Yeah, that could have been Cleveland for all we know.
Yeah. I don't have to. It's just the fact that it was in an apartment complex, not
Right.
in a cabin.
And listen, I'm ready to talk to you guys. If I'm disagreeing, I'm ready to defend myself.
No,
That's why when I messaged with you, I said I got my chainsaw, I got my torch. I'm ready.
Yo, Joe. All right, well, you're gonna.
No,
I
hey,
got you.
but so anyways, however, I will say, and just because JR mentioned it, and I'm also gonna get it out of the way, this movie had a lot of great sequences, a lot of great gory shit, a lot of just some good scenes in here.
Come on.
So for me, I'm gonna go with what JR's got behind us. I will say I love the intro to this movie.
Did he freeze?
Ooh, bro.
You did for a second.
Oh,
GR froze on my screen. You're good now, GR, but before when you said that,
no, I'm not frozen. But I love the intro. The intro was fucking awesome. I like that it did go back to the cabin. So it was kind of like, for us, the fan base, we started at the cabin. And we're going to probably go back to the cabin. You don't know because there's sequels. But I thought the beginning part, I guess that's part of it, the beginning part was so fucking good that the rest of the movie just didn't live up to how great the beginning was for me. And yeah, JR, when she came out of the water, that whole scene, I love when she ripped her fucking head off. All that sequence was awesome for me. So,
Joe, I will agree with you on that.
JR, I'm gonna go with you first. What was your favorite?
Oh, he's not looking happy.
What was your favorite scene in this movie?
GR blew my buzz.
Yeah, I know.
Go drink some more.
Right.
Drink some more, man. Drink more.
Let me watch Scream after this. See how I touch that fucker.
I know, man.
You can.
I want to say one thing though.
I came in here hyped. I thought we were gonna have some fun. I gotta be on the defensive.
We are gonna have fun.
We're
gonna have fun. No, I didn't hate the movie.
I know you guys are knocking the characters.
No, guys, let Joe talk. I'm sorry, Joe. Go, Joe.
But
we've been taking up too much time.
But the character of Ellie, Alyssa Sutherland, I'm sorry, she rocked this movie.
Yeah, bro.
She was amazing. Bro. I mean, I know the other characters were somewhat flawed, but she dominated this movie to the fact that I put her up there with the Mia character in 2013. Because the Mia character was amazing. The thing too about these characters, they're broken characters. So you're not supposed to like some of these characters. So the fact that you had basically, I mean, you didn't even know these kids were adopted, to be honest, because the way they acted. But for me, I mean, I liked these characters better. And I don't know. Alyssa Sutherland, she killed it. Hopefully she's in more horror movies because
she did.
Not for nothing. And Priscilla mentioned this. She could pull off a female Joker with that smile. Because she was good. But for me, my favorite scene in this whole movie was the hallway scene. Or basically, she's out the house.
Through the eye?
No. Yeah, they're looking at everything. She's basically beating the crap out of everybody.
So, you're saying when you watch it through the actual...
Yes.
Yeah, the peephole.
That was awesome.
Peephole?
It's got the fisheye effect to it.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was awesome because you had the guys, I get bit on it. He's like, help me. And she basically messes him up. Then you got the little brother running across. And I was surprised because I was like, oh, Rick's not going to like this part. Then you see her chase after the brother. Then you see him flying and hit the wall.
No, that's not a kid to me.
No, I know, but I thought it was awesome. And then you got the older gentleman with the shotgun who just basically, I mean,
I like that guy too, man.
Yeah, I love that dude.
Yeah, that was
cool,
man. He was like the one guy I wish lasted a little longer.
Yeah.
Because he was badass. Like he's like a survivor, but like the whole time the dude's trying to break things, he goes, I can just grab my shotgun and do it quick. But that scene there was some good scenes in this. I mean, I'm sure we're going to talk about the cheese grater. Somebody's going to bring that up.
Yes.
Because I tell you, they did have a lot of good sequences, and the transformations I actually enjoyed a lot. And these transformations were amazing.
Yeah.
To the point where for me, I think it's a good continuation of 2013 because it did remind you of a lot of 2013 as far as the gore, the badass blood with the chainsaw. But yeah, for me, that was my favorite scene. I mean, I have more, but that one for me is definitely the top one.
All right. Who am I gonna go to next here? Rick.
I get it.
Rick, what's your scene? Why are you saying that way? Damn. See, I'm all smiles here. You're thinking like it's gonna be all bad, bro.
Nah, man, you killed me, brother. No. Seriously. No, okay. Well, my GR had brought it up before, but I gotta say that the title sequence in this, especially in this theater, with amazing sound. It's got to be. I didn't rank it yet because I don't have time for that because there's a lot. But easily a top 5 opening title sequences ever. Like that was pure genius. The music was masterful, and it's just the freeze frame and everything just clicked. that was the perfect way to start the film. And I love how it went from the cabin, and then it
One day
took you
earlier.
back. Then it took you to the main story. Then you gotta, okay, how did it get there? So you're constantly until the very end when that one girl, I don't know how she slept through all that shit. she wakes up pissed off. I couldn't get no sleep. Blah, 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 blah. And that, okay, that's the hero character from the beginning. Boom, full circle. So, yeah, the title sequence was I know it's just a title sequence, but it holds so much fucking weight, bro.
Well,
That's my favorite one. If I gotta go with something a bit different, that's not the title sequence. I love it when they were in the hallway and all the dead bodies just got up and started chanting "Dead by Dawn." Now this is how you do it, as opposed to "Evil Dies Tonight." Okay.
I was not annoyed by that. Not at all.
Because that's pure Evil Dead, and it's not a sequence as a whole. But you mentioned Lee Cronin. His love for the franchise is all over this film, especially Evil Dead 2, because the 2013 film was dark. It was dark, right? This one here was dark as well, and it was scary in moments, but it also had those moments like JR mentioned with the eyeball, for example. Fuck!
Always! Yay, the phone made its appearance.
Mind you, that phone never rings.
It always does when we're recording. It said hello. Hey, phone.
All the subtle nods here, and I'm gonna get into it later before we wrap it up. But yeah, man, those are my two favorite parts. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that because I got other stuff to say, but I don't want to. I'll be here forever talking about this. I'll wait until we get to the appropriate time.
You're gonna get that bell.
No, I'm good.
You guys are doing awesome. You guys are doing really great tonight. But with the opening,
before we move on, we gotta hold on. Leave Joe alone.
Thank you. I know. And I'm coming in positive. Like, I'm honestly.
This guy came in positive. The first one was
no.
I got the torch.
Hold on. I'm coming in positive. There's been many movies that I come in a little negative. We all talk.
Listen.
And then I wait for you guys to convince me otherwise.
Joe.
So that's all.
Listen, I know, Joe. I'm being playful. But the one thing you said, that's the most sacrilegious thing you said. Is the fact, and Raider, look at Raider, he knows.
Did I grab?
You would grabbing your phone during the middle of a movie.
Yeah, and trust me, when I've had that thought, for that, bro. When I had that thought, I go, Rick is gonna get mad.
No. You could say this movie's many things, but boring, it is never not. I will say
there was a certain point in the movie that it got just a little, boring for me. But I do want to hit on what you said because at first. I did kind of think it was a little corny with the title Rising, but the music that was playing as the title, then all of a sudden it was not corny at all. Like that music, just the build up, because I'm like, are they really going to show the title? And then the music, and your body is now into the scene. You're like, awesome, like literally. So yeah, the title, I guess the title sequence, one of the best ones I've seen. I did love the title sequence. Yeah, and the music is what helped that one. So, Lexi, you're next.
So, I'm going to go to bat for Joe a little bit. Okay. So, touching on what Rick said that.
I wasn't stupid. I wasn't stupid when I'm controlling this shit. I knew that I had another voice on here before I had Radar, who was going to join these two. So I needed to get a little balance in here. Joe the psychologist.
The reason why I have an issue with the beginning to the end is because the title sequence, the whole thing opening was, like I said in the first few minutes, was that it was badass beginning. I mean, no other way to go than to just go out or go in with a bang. We've got a whole scalp pulled off. We got chopped off by the drone. And then this creepy part was where she was reading from Wuthering Heights book without looking. That freaked me out. Yeah. But to go one day earlier and get the whole movie, and then I'm like, wait, what happened to the people in the beginning? How did that even happen? You only get it in the beginning and then the end. I wanted a little more.
They all did.
I get that, but I wanted a little more with that. We just and then the girl in the apartment comes out of nowhere, and I'm like, oh, and then it ends right. I don't know. I just wanted more from them, I guess.
This was a sequel for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what
I
it's
just
setting
wanted
up
a
for.
little more, just a little more.
I didn't want
just
to see
hate
that guy
they
with the drone
split
anymore,
it.
though. I didn't like that guy. What a
And then the
douchebag
girl
he
comes
was.
out of the apartment and like, did you not hear the screaming, the gunshots? You didn't hear shit. What floor were you on?
Thank you, Lexi.
That's the
'Cause I
joke.
literally,
That's the joke.
I like when that happened. I'm like, are you fucking?
That's the
like,
joke, though. It's not by
There
design.
was like a whole lot of shit going on in your building last night.
No.
Besides the earthquake.
The earthquake,
Yeah.
the
Never mind the
stairs,
earthquake.
no staircase, the
There's
elevator not working.
There is no
Like,
staircase. Ooh, Lexi caught a plow hole.
Yeah,
Because when
The
they
what?
tried to leave, there was no staircase. Yet the girl.
yeah.
didn't she go-
There was no
They went down the
staircase.
elevator.
There was no elevator. Like,
Well, except
Well,
for
I mean,
there
there
was more
was.
than one staircase, though.
Yeah, I mean,
All right, all right.
with that aside, my favorite part was the elevator scenes. You know, in the originals, you got the twine coming at the girls, and you know,
So,
into,
in
you
the
know,
woods.
but they
The
used
rapey trees.
modernized
The rapey
ways. What did I say?
You popped him.
Rick, you got shot.
Good job. Good job. I already took one.
The
I'm
rapey
okay.
trees. The rapey trees. That.
Yes.
That.
Take your joke,
that
take your
scene-
But
that
the
scene
way the
was
trees
an
flying
homage
onto them,
to-
it's modernized into this movie with the electrical from the elevator around the main character. I'm so bad with names. I don't remember any of these people's
Ellie.
names.
Ellie.
Ellie.
Her, the one behind me.
Ellie and Beth.
Yes. Ellie, yes. I like that they kind of modernized the situation from the old ones to here by using the electrical cords of the elevator.
Good shout out.
I loved
Good
the
shout out.
elevator
Yeah.
scenes. I also, like I said, loved the chainsaw with the creepy creatures of the mother and the kids at the end. I mean, she screamed Bruce Campbell, just a girl version, with the chainsaw, and then, you know, with the tree trimmer, and then putting the chainsaw on her head. Like, it just screamed a girl version of Bruce Campbell from the originals. And I loved the way she looked, because it's almost similar to, you know, Bruce Campbell, just her version, today's version, modernized version of today. That's all I gotta say.
It was actually.
But I went to
homage
bat for you, Joe. I
was
feel you.
actually-
I just, yeah.
No, it was actually a homage to 2013 too, because that scene is reminiscent of the 2013 scene when Mia
yeah.
kills her double.
Yeah.
But they really
Yeah.
kicked ass in that.
Fuck it.
Radar.
I gotta agree with Lexi. I really did love the whole modernizing the twine, and that it didn't sexually assault her. That's nice too.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, that part too.
Yeah, that helps.
Oh,
But I would have loved to have more of like the Necronomicon itself, because all the drawings in it were cool as fuck. And like every time they would flip, and then like someone would become a deadite, and it would like show what's gonna happen to them. I love that little bit of it. I wish there could have done more of that in it, with maybe a few of the people in the hallway, kind of stuck with them a little bit longer, had their kills drawn out, so you know, could have seen a little bit more. But the design of the book too was pretty sweet. But I think my biggest concern, my biggest nitpick, what happened to that pizza?
oh my God, Radar.
I would. Radar. Listen, Radar.
Listen,
First of all, the boxes fell upside down. You can still eat that.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
It was
why did you
perfectly
just
fine.
waste that fucking pizza?
Fuck that. I know,
Bro,
yo.
Okay, wait.
That
hold
was
on,
two
Rick,
pizzas.
Rick.
It was three,
This
it was
is my
three.
point. This
Three
is my
pizzas.
point. This
Three.
is my point, Rick. I'm watching a horror movie, and I'm wondering about the fucking pizza.
Damn, oh man, bro.
So Radar, thank
Go,
you,
watch,
Radar.
go watch people eating shit. No, Radar,
Thank you,
bro.
Radar. Thank you, Radar, because that's literally was a legit.
Hey,
I'm like, they
hey,
just wasted like
Hey.
3 pizzas.
The little girl still ate some.
hey,
I know, but
Go-
That is Joe, you're on my shit list, Joe.
yo, go to New York where you have everybody walking around with people, and then there's one guy with a ghost face mask, and everybody's
we're
like,
not going to talk about New York and pizza.
I thought about that though. When that pizza hit the ground, I'm like, yo, that pizza's still
Yes.
good, bro.
It's so
Dude,
good.
okay,
When
they
we
open
take the
the-
box and go this way, everything is going to fall back down.
Well, and when they opened the box too, it was like only like one slice was kind of folded.
Yeah,
What the
I mean,
hell?
Hear that shit, bro.
oh my God,
Listen,
Radar.
I love
Thank you.
pizza.
I love.
all
Hold on,
types of
Radar.
pizza.
I love you. Thank you very, very much. That was a legit question I had in my head as I watched this movie.
And
So,
then when they
thank
go
you.
back to the garage later, the pizza is gone. Did the
Gone.
Deadites eat the pizza? Did the girl from the first scene, did
Let's
she
be
eat the
real.
pizza?
Let's
Who
be
ate
real,
the
man.
pizza?
Some
I
vagabond
need
stole
these
that.
questions answered.
God, I need to see this movie. Oh, you haven't seen it?
Oh, you
no,
gotta
it's-
watch it.
You haven't
Oh.
seen this movie?
Just make sure you get your pizza in before you see it.
All right.
There's atrocities against pizza, but the rest of the movie, superb.
Oh god, look at
You know what? Though? I
everyone
would
loves
say,
Joe. Look,
you know what? I think the reason they didn't show too much of the book because they wanted to give Bruce Campbell his moment.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Like Joe's lost. Joe's completely gone. Dude, what are you guys talking
Because
about?
I
Hold
missed
on,
Bruce
hold on, before-
Campbell in there. I literally.
so before we get to that though, real quick, you guys heard about the theory about the book in this movie? How
Yeah,
it goes
the-
back to the Army of Darkness.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Oh
Ash
yeah.
Yeah.
had the 3 books. The first book was the Sam Raimi book. The second book was the Necronomicon from the 2013 film, and the third book is the book in this film.
Yeah.
I haven't gone back to look at the actual books to see if they match, but
Right.
that's pretty cool as an Easter egg.
It is.
That's pretty dope.
All right. So you guys are good on time. Like literally, I sent a format to these guys because I had a feeling they were all going to be like the whole time. I'm going to throw in before we get to the closing. Here's the bonus question I had, and it's going to be your favorite goriest scene or bloodiest scene. Which one did you like? Which kill? Which was? And Radar, I purposely was putting you last on the other ones because my head already had you first on this one.
All right. You know, I'm going to probably go off because no one has mentioned this, but the greatest character development in this movie was the doll head on the stick.
It
Daphne.
Daphne.
Stephanie.
That was my daughter's favorite.
She
Part was
so
Daphne.
bad.
I'm glad you brought that up. 'Cause that shit
Yeah.
completely went. That shit didn't even exist to me anymore. I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
But
Oh, sorry, did I
Daphne had
ruin
Oh,
such
that's
a
right.
glow
That's
up.
right. Yeah. I mean, I knew about the impale, but I forgot that they called it, staff.
Daphne.
And
Well,
I-
that was my daughter's favorite part. She couldn't stop talking about it.
Daphne. Yeah,
And of
but
course,
she,
they showed those
you know.
scissors early on in the film, and
Yeah.
Chekhov's gun. Those scissors
Yep.
were gonna come back.
it was nice though seeing Daphne get the glow up she deserved, stabbing the crap out of the older sister, and I love that scene because of that. Because I was like, when is Daphne gonna get her moment? That's why it was my favorite gory.
That was your favorite gory. All
That
right.
was
Well, next one. I'm going to the gore master here, Rick. What was your
Um,
favorite gory scene?
Gory scene. Oh man. Oh, I wasn't expecting this one, but
I know.
off the top of my head, all right, I would say it wasn't gory, but I think when she ripped the girl's scalp off, only because you feel that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I like it at the end of the film when they show the character talking to I don't know her name because they were instant.
She's
And
doing
she's-
this. That she's
she's
throwing
taking
in
it
the
out.
air.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't know if I'm gonna go.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So yeah,
She asked for it.
and since it was early in the film, I wasn't exposed yet to everything else. I felt that one, so I'm gonna go with that.
All right, Lexi. What was your favorite gory scene?
So, as a wine girl, the wine scene where the older sister's frog-like on the kitchen counter, and then she turns and she's chewing on the wine glass, and then you can see physically the shards of the glass going down her throat, and yeah, that was
Oh,
gory
yeah,
to me
yeah.
because I was like,
The fact that
oh,
when she
chewing on
crunches,
it, you can
you
hear
can
the
hear
crunch.
yeah.
Yes, and then you see the slices or the shards of glass going down her throat. That to me, I was like, ah,
Subtle, very subtle, yes. And then she spit the
I
glass
needed a
at
sip
her.
of wine.
That's a good. Well, when I thought about that, because honestly, I bite the inside of my mouth and my tongue. Like I've gone to my coworkers going, biting my tongue. So when I saw that scene, my mouth was not happy. Like I'm like,
yeah,
oh, this is
no,
the
I was
worst
like,
thing.
like dry mouth. I was like, no.
All right, Jr. What was your favorite gory scene?
Wow. I want to say it was gory. I thought it was funny because of the homage to it, but when she bit that dude's eyeball out,
Yeah.
she like really dug into his face. and then all of a sudden you see the eyeball missing, and then she's just like regurgitating, and she shoots it out. And not for nothing, but that scene was always great in the original because for some reason you have an eyeball coming at you, and your first reaction is like, oh. I mean, like you don't got time to duck it, like move to the side, but.
You know what made this one even better? That the dude actually choked on it.
Yeah, like I mean, I like that scene a lot because, like, you know, I love the fact that they paid homage to the original a lot.
Oh, I love it. I love all, even dude, the subtle homages.
Yeah,
A lot. There was a
You're
lot.
freezing, GR.
throughout
You're
here.
Yeah, I
freezing.
see that shit. That shit looks cool when you're watching it.
What?
The freezing.
You're in
or-
slow motion right now. GR's like,
Yeah, it froze.
look, it's frozen.
Yeah, I
It's
saw
like-
that.
He goes, that shit was cool when you see it as you're telling
thought-
him he's freezing.
Yeah, I
and
thought
he
I was bugging. I'm like, what the hell?
This is all a ploy to show JR's sweet dance skills in slow mo.
Look at this.
goes-
All right, go ahead, jump on the radar and I'll jump back in.
Hold on, real quick.
Oh, there it
You
goes.
know what scene was
Thanks.
awesome was when Ellie was on the bed after they thought she was dead, and all of a sudden her eyes open and they blink this way, and just the sound cues like tune tune, like oh fuck.
I'm gonna kick your ass when I see you because literally you took one of mine and then JR took the other one.
Hold on,
I'm
that's
like,
not a
well, I
gory
only got
scene though. So what am I taking?
the eyeball. So I have an eyeball problem thing. Like I wear contacts.
Yeah.
So the scene where she's sitting there and the flies like, and she's like I didn't.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Oh,
yeah.
But it's not even that. It's the way the actress did it, and
Yes.
she turned only her eyes turned towards Beth, and the music cues. Bing, bing, oh, bro,
Hold on. I got a question for you guys. Though.
mass.
Every time they show her nails, did you wait for one of them to pop right off?
right off.
Yeah.
Never happened.
Every time they show it, I'm like, don't do it.
They were
That-
already
that-
loose.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
part
she
of
rid of
that
it.
is part
But
of
that
a
was-
demon. Anything possession, like you see the come
Yeah.
on.
No,
Oh,
but
shit,
that was
you guys
awesome. I kind of, because the whole time it's like you're waiting for it to pop off. No. Okay. And then next thing they show, like, But I thought that was kind of cool. I like that how they played with you with that.
I will go with my favorite one was the ripping of her scalp off, and then not just that, but she showed up to I guess the guy was the boyfriend,
That was a jerk.
and
I
like
hated that
she
shit.
shows up with like half her scalp like missing. So yeah, that again, but that
He's like,
ties
what the
into-
fuck?
that ties into how good the beginning of this movie actually was. All right, so we're gonna go ahead because we're gonna keep talking a little bit longer, but we want to get the review in first. So we're gonna do the closing thoughts, any last little minute things here,
Mhm.
and your rating. And for this one, we're gonna go ladies first again. So Lexi, you are first.
So really quick, can we mention the grater real quick? Because that shit
Go ahead.
scarred me too.
I was waiting for somebody else to say it.
It just
Before-
like it's
before you
slow
get into
motion
that,
too.
I saw people complaining online. Of course, they get pissed off because they watch the trailer
On the
and they
cheese
and
grater?
they see the cheese grater, right? And I see people saying online, "Oh, the cheese grater scene was so hyped up. It wasn't that good. Why are you watching the fucking trailer for,
Okay.
motherfucker?"
Have you? So
Right.
I'm gonna go. Sorry, Lexi.
I like the fact that
You're
they
good.
kept it subtle because that.
So
Mm.
that cheese grater, I have literally sometimes sat there and been grating something, and I'm watching something on TV and gone, "Oh fuck," and like grated off.
Bro,
like,
you're Puerto Rican. I know you've been no plátanos, bro. I know.
That's
you've
what I'm saying. You're sitting there grating, and all of a sudden you're like,
That's what hurts.
you're like squirrel. Oh shit! So that cheese grater scene. But go ahead, Lexi. Cheese grater scene.
Yeah, the cheese grater scene. Like they did it so subtle, so slow, and it just. And I've been in the kitchen before too, where you just accidentally grate. And I have the same exact grater that was in the movie.
That's for you, Joe.
Ah.
That's for you.
Adam got your back. Adam got your back.
Yeah,
Well, hold on, but
It-
he
He doesn't really count. 'cause he's
Original,
really,
the
like,
original
older
film's a
movies,
classic. I went into this
Yeah.
and not even thinking about those. This
Yeah.
to
I'm
me
gonna let
is-
you right now, Adam.
Mhm.
Though he will sit there and like, oh, I hate these movies.
but it's good to get his opinion though. 'cause he's
Adam
a
is
casual
a
fan.
self-professed like there is an inner horror in him that he actually likes these movies. Like would he sit there and watch it? I'm not gonna pick it for that day. But when I sit there and I'll put it on, like there's some movies we'll be done. He's like, oh, I really like that one.
Yeah, I like that because to me he's the casual audience,
Yeah.
and I love seeing what casual audiences feel about movies that we love to see. What the you know what I'm saying? So that's pretty. I mean,
Literally, two of the movies that fucked me up. He's the one that got up and goes, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
What were you
And, like,
watching the
left
other
the
day?
room.
That he left the room. What were you watching? He walked out on you. What was it?
Shit.
What the fuck did you just review recently? That review. What did you cover on movies that fucked me up recently? It wasn't Arachnophobia. What was before that? Oh, it was Human Centipede, right?
Human Centipede, yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's-
that'll do it.
Oh, yeah. Literally, like
I saw this guy watching it for to get ready
I-
for the video. He walks away. Like, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
I like it got to one scene and Adam literally went, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" and like left the room. I'm like, I'm gonna keep watching. I didn't even go check if he was okay. But I'm sorry, Lexi.
Nah, yeah, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Lexi.
You're good. Yeah. Anyways, we get the whole trees grater thing. Shit was gnarly. And just I think we've all cut ourselves on a cheese grater once, and just to have one little nick, but a whole grater full of nicks, ooh,
And your
that
calf.
shit made me itch. Yeah, it just on the calf, yeah, the thickest skin right there. So it's like, yeah, it made me itch. But closing thoughts, overall, I loved the movie. I thought it was great. I had only minor issues when it came to the beginning to the end. Like, we didn't get a lot from those people. I from the little that we did get, it was fine. The opening was great. The scalp was probably the best part of the beginning. Overall, I just don't have issue. I thought it was a little weird. We weren't at the cabin and we were in a big complex, but that's okay. And I do want to touch on Stephanie really quick. I watched Evil Dead 2 today earlier, and it's actually a little Easter egg. Stephanie was a little Easter egg from Evil Dead 2 because they had the staff them. It wasn't Stephanie, obviously, but I just thought it was funny.
Look at her.
That I just thought it was funny that the original staff is nothing compared to Stephanie. But I liked that somehow they twined that into the movie, and the little girl was the one that made it. And she ends up stabbing the sister. But yeah, overall, I like the movie. Do I rate now?
Yes.
Yeah.
right now.
I'm gonna go with a 4 out of 5.
Okay, I was
because
like 4 out
Of
of
my
10.
little 4 out of 5.
No, that's Joe's score.
Because of my little nitpicking of going from the cat, because I guess my heart expected to go to the cabin, to go back to the cabin.
No, that's fair.
And then when I saw that the cabin that they opened with wasn't even the cabin, I was like, wait, what's going on? And then it started off with a bang, and I was like, okay, this is cool, but I still have questions. And then we ended up in an apartment place, so I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. And I remember after I watched, because I watched it twice, I went to the movie theater the night it
She's
came
the
out.
only one to watch it twice, by the way.
I want to
And
watch
then
it
I
again.
went
Look at
again
that.
a couple of days
Let's go,
later.
Jer. I'm down, son. I'm not
Yeah.
lying.
But I texted Rick afterwards because he was the only one that saw it on the same day as I did the first time. And I was like, I have questions, Rick. Why are we in an apartment place? And it's so modernized. And I don't know how I feel about it.
See,
Overall,
I
like
lived in a complexes like that, so it hit home.
So
to me.
did
I could
but-
relate more than the cabin.
They need a cart and somebody
Right?
passed out drunk.
I know what he was doing.
I know what he's saying.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll tell the story after we're done here.
No,
Radar.
I'm done. Next.
Radar, my boy,
Radar,
Radar with the big
you're next.
troublester.
You're
Come on.
next. Go ahead. Let me know your closing.
Dude, I
Any
want that
last
shirt,
minute
bro.
thoughts? By the way, hold on. Before we move on, in this section, any last minute thoughts? Other scenes we didn't talk about. This is like really open. So before we move on, Lexi, is there anything? One more you want to throw in here?
Oh, yeah. So I mentioned before that I loved the elevator scenes. I mentioned the first one where she's getting tied with the electrical cords, but I also liked where the blood was filling into, and
Yeah.
What horror movie is that a good homage to?
The Shining, right?
Thank you, Radar.
The elevator.
okay.
The Shining.
Yeah, you're right.
That's The Shining.
I can
That's The
see that.
Shining.
Yeah.
That's literally what
Yeah.
The Shining. What happened in the elevator before it opened up.
Yeah, that's
a
true.
good. That is a really, because I was actually probably one of the scenes I was claustrophobic in. Was the thought of drowning, but
I don't
you're
like
not drowning in
elevators,
water.
period.
I don't like. I hate elevators.
I'm claustrophobic.
I don't
bro,
like them.
so-
If
Yeah.
an elevator
take the
gets
stairs.
stuck, if an elevator gets
Oh, yeah.
stuck, we have about maybe like 10 minutes before I start kind of going a little bit crazy.
10 minutes.
Jesus
I got
Christ, 10
2
minutes. How long
I
have you
got
been
2
stuck in
minutes.
elevators for, man?
What
are you doing? What elevators are you getting on?
I've been stuck twice in an elevator. Listen, you know what Bridgeport is like.
Jesus, all right, I'm not going to
But I like
Bridgeport.
how it was all freaking out in the elevator and the blood's filling, and then ding, and then the doors open flash.
No.
But they just did a nice subtle ding.
There was a hole up top.
I know they didn't think of that, but you know,
Oh, yeah, well, the creature was coming though. So they
Yeah,
couldn't
they
do
was
that.
reaching for him. It was going like,
oh, through the top.
Yeah, the mother and the two kids that creature together, they were on top of the elevator coming
You're right,
down.
You're right. All right,
Yeah.
all right, Radar. Go ahead. And again, if there's any extra little scenes you want to throw in there, this is your time.
I think it was pretty brilliant because the thing that's like the big drawback of the first two Evil Deads to Unleash the Demon is that you have to listen to like someone fully read the whole passage, and like Bruce could just literally go, yeah, this is fucking boring, and just hit the off button. And then the movie doesn't happen. But I like how in this one they're like, you started it, you're gonna get fucked.
Let me ask
When
you,
he's,
Rita,
like,
if
playing
you were
record.
playing that record, but you're a horror fiend, come on. If you're playing that record and you hear that creepy ass voice and like the ominous chants, you're gonna
Would
turn
you
off, or are you
stop?
gonna be like,
Fuck yeah, I'm turning it off.
I've seen enough horror movies to know I should
Not-
turn it off.
He
I'm not going
couldn't.
to though.
At first, he could have turned it off, JR.
Second time
Later
around,
on, yeah, he couldn't. But as a kid of the '80s, where you heard these stories about, I think it was Black Sabbath. Was it Black Sabbath?
The back masking or whatever.
If you go backwards, you hear things. So I did love that little nod there. That's
I love
a good
the sound too, man. Sound
a
design.
good little throw to us old people in this movie,
But
where you play something backwards and you hear it. So that was. But again, that anyway. Finish.
Radar, but did you like the fact that, again, modernized in today's world, that it was actually DJ record players
Did you?
that she used it on
And
Right.
vinyls are coming back.
instead of
have
the
not gone
recorder
away.
from back in the 80s?
You can't say,
Right.
"Oh, what are you using records for? That's old." No.
No,
Records
vinyl-
are back. Trust me.
Vinyls have never
It was-
gone away if you listen to house music.
But it went from
Right.
tape
Good call.
record to vinyl record.
Yeah.
That's modernized.
So I mean,
Yeah, you know
know.
what? I didn't think about that. You're right. Yeah, it was always like an actual. What was the Betamax?
where you
type-
put the tape into the record,
Yeah, yeah, not a-
photo tape.
the audio. I
Adam
forgot
down
what it's
here in the
called.
comments saying, "Who has a record player? You son of a gun, I do."
What's wrong with that? What is wrong with? Oh, Adam! Oh, Adam, stop!
I'm under fire here.
Hey, I don't have a record.
All right,
player. I respect-
before
I
he
respect the
talks
record,
crap,
man.
we actually went to a friend's house who their guest house was two turntables with just a collection of classic fucking music. So we sat there and
Oh.
spent a whole entire day putting like the records on, needle, and everything. So
Cool, pull.
thank you. I
Oh.
did too. There's nothing
Thank
wrong
you.
with that. Adam, you're a butthead.
I use vinyl because I like to have the most inefficient way to listen to music.
Let me ask you, Raider. The vinyl records, do they sound better than a CD would, in your opinion? Does it got that like a grainy sound to it?
Yeah, it has like a grainy,
I like
nice
that.
like
I
texture
like
to it.
that.
You don't get
I
the
like that.
clarity that you get with the digital stuff now. But
Yeah.
when you listen to
Yeah.
a record, it actually sounds. Well, here's the thing. Like we're from the generation that actually had records, 45-inch, 12-inch. I mean, when Dan, you had, I had, JR. We used to have a station wagon with an 8-track player. So it's way better.
Way
Music
better.
sounds more. Anyway, we're digressing.
Sorry.
Back,
But
but
yeah,
yeah,
that was-
I'm going back to you because we digress and we interrupted you. So
No, but I did like that. That was really nice that it's like, nope, you don't have a choice now. You started it. Now you're gonna get fucked. regardless of what you do. And then I did love that scene, JR, where Ellie goes through the vent. She comes down.
Yes.
It's like, ooh, that is spooky.
Cool.
We don't ever
Cool.
find out what happened to the cat.
Very
So
cool. Oh, thank God! Oh my God! I was.
Rick was like,
for Ricky's
I
sake,
was worried about animals when I see him in the movie.
now,
Oh
mind
my
you,
God.
he didn't mind the kid, but he was like, no, not the cat. Kid's fine, but not the cat.
Yeah, but that guy was like 13 years old. He's not a child.
He could have been.
Plus, he was hanging out with the other asshole, so fuck them both.
Some of
all
that
right,
guy actually got
I
killed.
got a crazy theory, guys. We don't ever see what happens to the cat, right? We don't ever see what happens to the pizza. The cat took the pizza.
The cat.
That's what
I
happened.
agree.
I think that's
That
That's a
crazy
smart
fan
cat.
theory.
That's a smart cat.
Hold
bro.
on, you're wrong. It's New York. It was a rat.
no.
But Radar, we need your score though.
Uh-oh. Well, you know
What do
what? Besides crimes against pizza humanity, it's pretty great throughout. I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5.
Good
Okay.
stuff.
Boom, solid.
I'm gonna say that my score is going up a little bit more. Rick. So Rick, you're next.
Yeah, man. I want before like this film here. Before I get into my score, Joe, you mentioned one thing, but before I get into that, what I loved about this film is Ellie, the first one, that turned into the Deadite, right? She's possessed, but it's a slow turn.
Yeah.
It didn't just take over immediately. You felt the struggle, the pain. You felt the anguish, and it wasn't quick. And seeing her walking around, making the eggs, throwing that, just
Oh,
throwing the eggs.
scene.
Like I love eggs, and I'm seeing that she's doing.
I
that.
was driving me nuts when she had the
Yes!
cells in there.
Yes, my anxiety was like, oh my God, stop it, But she's the villain, so she's supposed to make you feel uncomfortable. But and just her voice, the voice modulator, whatever they use for it,
Yeah.
perfect. It was creepy, unsettling at times, unnerving, I would say. Yes, I loved all of that when it came to that. But one thing I would say though, you mentioned Terrifier earlier, Joe. And I'm glad you did bring that up, because the one thing I did not enjoy about this film, I wish they would have pushed the gore even further.
Thank you.
I don't think for an Evil Dead, like 2013's
All the Evil Dead
Dead,
have pushed the gore.
2013's Evil Dead was fucking brutal. This
Yeah.
year had a lot of blood, but
not
if you
gore.
look at it, it wasn't very gory.
Thank you.
I see. I got valid points. I don't just say, "Oh, I'm looking at my phone because I'm bored."
Well, no. But the thing is, I'm just trying to say.
See, I'm critical. But
some of the
no,
stuff you're saying, like that was
I'm
one of my.
fucking with you. I'm fucking with you.
No, but that's truly one of my points. Is that this is an Evil Dead movie? It should be kind of gory, even gory to the standards of the ones that we saw when they first came out, and the one with Mia.
Listen, Mia. Yeah, I
Mia.
said it before.
This one did not. This one, gore wise,
Let me tell you, Terrifier 2 set the standard for me as
I gotta
far
watch
as
that.
violence and gore.
I
Because
heard-
it's not that there's a lot of gore in Terrifier. It's not that, but the violence that's there is fucking great. And this movie, it felt to me they kind of shied away from it a lot. Like JR mentioned, the kid that gets thrown against the wall and killed. When they're going through the peephole, when they're looking through the peephole, your POV. You didn't see what happened to him, the guy with the shotgun, the older guy with the shotgun, you didn't see what happened to him either. So a lot of off-screen deaths in it. So that's my major nitpick on
big
this film
nitpick,
for me.
honestly.
It-
It's Evil Dead, dude.
Yeah, but
it should be gory.
No, you know what though? But I will say this though, I enjoyed it so much, even despite the lack. I'm not gonna say a lack of gore, because
You did.
I want more. The casual audience, to them, that's like shocking to them. But for me, I got so much like experience watching these crazy ass fucking films that
You're saying the casual audience, though. However, majority of this audience have seen the Evil Dead movies.
yeah. But
I would
who's
say
going
not
to the
really,
theater?
though. I would
Who's
say not
going to
really,
the theater to see these movies? Yes, the hardcores, but in order for it to be a little successful, you gotta have the casual. The casuals are the
Yes.
ones
Yes.
that bring in the money, and GR knows that. Every hardcore fan can go watch it, and it'll bomb. But if you get the casual audience involved
Yes.
too,
I get that.
You know what
I
I'm saying?
get
So,
that. But
what I'm
you
trying to
still
say
have a
is-
standard.
the Evil
Gore
Dead,
has a standard.
the blood was there, the blood, and all that shit was there, the violence was there, but it's just the gore factor. because
Missing.
Terrifier doesn't pull no punches when it comes to like fucking people up. And
my
here,
mouth watered in one scene when I was texting you, telling you, I'm like, oh my god.
in this film, it kind of felt like they held their punches back.
They did. They did.
A bit.
Truly.
But I'm gonna give it a 4.5 because I had a great. Joe, another thing you mentioned arachnophobia. I'm gonna finish with this. Frank Marshall's line, which was fucking brilliant, by the way. A roller coaster because you're laughing, you're yelling, you're scared. This was this movie for me. This movie to me was a roller coaster film because it was like bonkers. Like, oh my god, like this is great. This is great. The music. My nitpicks are you mentioned the characters, not too memorable. With Ellie aside,
Yes.
and to me, and it looks like you agree, Joe. The gore could have been upped a bit as well. But I enjoyed it. I loved it. I want to see it again, and I loved the passion that the director had for this film. You can tell he was an Evil Dead fan. Even there's a homage to the Evil Dead 2 cover with the skull looking like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That same shot is in this film, but with Ellie this time. It's there. And I don't know who wants to talk about JR. Maybe you brought it up, but Ash's cameo. I'm gonna leave it to you.
Well, he's last.
I'm gonna leave it to him.
I left that so I can hear this.
So, and again, that's the director adding that in there. Why? And JR would explain that to you. But 4.5, go watch it. It's not the greatest film on earth. We're not saying that. I'm not saying it, but it's a roller coaster. It's a fucking roller coaster. Right?
Before I hit JR, so I can get the scores again, 4.5. Radar, yours was
4.5.
4.5.
4.
Lexi?
She got a 4, yeah.
All right, JR. You're last to convince me on.
Before we talk about the gore,
This guy always needs someone convincing him, man.
Lee Cronin took over this, and he's already said in the next film he's going to up the gore. That he has 4 different ways to do it, and they're each is more disturbing than the other. So this movie was a hook to bring in that new Evil Dead audience because now we're going to get sequels. Now the sequels are coming. Now we don't have to wait 10 years for the next sequel.
I can't believe it really has been 10
years.
Decade.
2013 years. Yeah.
And he already came out and said, I'm making more films. The next film I have, the next sequel, I have 4 different levels of gore I'm going to hit. So for me, this film was the hook to get the.
Just ignore it.
I'm sorry.
That's called. Hold on. That's called gummies. But anyway,
No, for me, this film was the hook to get people in to watch the other sequels that are coming because he did pay the homage to Evil Dead very well. I mean, he had
everything.
The eyeball scene, like he mentioned, the elevator scene, which I forgot to mention. But yes, the elevator scene. I'll be honest, I was waiting for that core to come up, and I'm like, I'm kind of glad he did.
I know, I was too.
But the fact is, they tortured her more because they put her in an angle where you actually heard her bones cracking.
Yeah.
And that one shot,
she physically felt the transformation.
Yes,
as opposed to being transformed, and then all these transformations happening where they don't feel it. She felt it before it happened.
And then for me, it's like when I mentioned the 2013. You're trying to build off a franchise that's already cemented. Now you got to try to make it different, but make it for the new audience. 2013 was amazing because of the introduction of the Mia character. The Mia character captivated you into the film. The Mia character made you want to watch the film. For me, I felt for Ellie because here you have, remember, she's a mom that doesn't know how to explain to her kids why dad left. So all the kids are looking at her like she's to blame for it. And she's trying to hold her shit together. Not only that, they have a month to move out. So you have this layer upon layer of just BS being put on this woman. And then you have her sister, who's basically a groupie deadbeat. Who I love how they kept mentioning that line throughout the movie.
Groupie.
I know, but that's kind of mean. That's somebody who's living their life.
That's her sister.
Mean.
I know, but she's living her life, and she was judging the life that she chose to live.
But she's living her life, and she only comes around when she needs to come around. That was why she was judging her. So there was a reason for her to judge her. You only come around when you need me, but when I need you, you were never around. Oh, I called you twice. And she had to sit there and listen to her voicemails to hear the freaking phone calls. So the Ellie character, Alyssa, she was amazing. She was the best character in this film. And for me, I'm a storyline driven character. Her character was amazing in this film. She carried the film. Her dialogue in the film was freaking amazing.
Yes.
Titty sucking parasites is going.
Yes. Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Her dialogue could have been cheesy and dumb, but her dialogue, everything was basically perfect whenever she talked. Now, Joe, you want to know where Bruce Campbell was?
Yes.
Who do you think was the voice of the priest on the record?
No, not the priest. The guy talking to the priest.
Talking to priest, yes. That was
Bruce Campbell?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not just Bruce Campbell, but Ash. That was Ash.
Yes.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Lee Cronin already he already acknowledged that is not just Bruce Campbell. That's Ash's character displaced somewhere in the future. Because you didn't see the Evil Dead series, the Ash vs. Evil Dead, so you don't know how it ended. But it makes a lot of sense. Like that was so fucking cool. Man.
I like that.
This looks like he wrapped up the whole Evil Dead universe into this film.
Yep. Oh yeah. The movies, everything.
I mean,
that's why we kept talking about it, Rick. We were like, "Where's Bruce in this?"
Yeah, I mean, the one nitpick I have on this film, and it is about the characters and stuff. Is I do agree if they were to step this up another level, take the whole fucking building,
right?
Every single floor, one by one.
Well,
but at the same time, though. Remember, even in the original, sometimes something will happen to certain individuals, and the other individuals wouldn't know what's going on. So that happened a lot too in the originals, where basically everybody was kind of separated whenever this thing came around. It happened a lot in the 2013 with Mia. She's in the shower getting burned. She's hearing all this thing. She's seeing stuff. I mean, and nobody sees it. But for me, like I said, this
I don't keep commenting.
I love him. That's why he's my husband.
At
least I know he's watching.
Hashtag wholesome.
Yeah. This does set up the sequels. I mean, Lexi, you question about the girl behind you. This sets up the next sequel because now she's unleashed in the woods, and God knows maybe she finds a cabin. Maybe she finds a family that's in that cabin. So it kind of sets up the next film, which I kind of like the way they did that because I'm a big proponent. I don't like the time jumps. I think this film did it pretty good. And I do agree that pizza looked freaking good. Oh my god! I got hungry when I seen that pizza.
And it's New York.
Oh my god, JR, thank you. I wanted
and it's New York pizza. New York. Well, New Haven's pretty good.
Stop with New York pizza. We have traumatic experience with pizza in New York.
What happened in New York, Joe?
Comic Con.
We had involving pizza. Oh yeah.
I love you, Bento.
Wait, what happened?
You watching?
When was this? All right, forget it.
We're not doing it.
Yeah.
We're not doing it.
I forgot. Wait,
I got a pizza story after this, but but for me, I wanted to give this a 5. I'm gonna give it a 4.5. Now, Priscilla, who's not a horror fan, went with me. And I asked her after the film. I said, "What would you rate this film?" She goes, "Honestly, I would give this a 4.7, almost a 5." And that's not a person who watches horror.
It's a roller coaster, bro. It's the Frank Marshall.
Because she said the storyline, she liked the storyline, she liked the gore, even though she got nauseous like a couple times. And the fact that she liked the character of Ellie, because, here you have a mom who's going through hell. And it's always one fucking kid who starts the shit. One kid.
Right.
He wasn't even a good DJ.
A hole in the ground.
He wasn't even a good DJ.
Yeah.
Rick, a hole in the ground, Rick.
What?
When that happened, all I thought about was a fucking hole in the ground, and you're gonna go.
How many horror movies? How many horror movies that happens where things get discovered in a hole in the ground?
And it's wrong.
Hold on. Mind you, after an earthquake.
Right.
And the same thing with arachnophobia. But anyway.
No, but that happens. It always happens. Even trappers, hole in the ground, things come out. But for me,
you know, Sophie.
No, for me,
I will say there was a part in the hole in the ground where they were the kid was down there looking at the book, going through the cross and coins, and someone in the theater next to Brian and I goes, "Oh my god, that's the scariest I've ever been of Jesus." I about fucking pissed myself.
Now, before Joe does
it was a jump scare.
Pizza story. So
pizza.
Rick talked about this apartment complex he lived in. So I'm gonna tell the story, Rick.
Uh-oh, Ray.
Give us the abridged version, bro.
Rick threw his party. We arrived to the party late. We got drunk like crazy. We basically paid catch up. A buddy of ours got drunk. We put him in the chair, rolled him out to the hallway. Rick goes out there. The dude's like puked all over the ground. One of our buddies actually cleaned it with a pizza box.
Oh, wait, I had to help him. Remember that?
With a pizza box? How do you do that?
I know how you can do it,
we
actually.
ripped the top
Yeah,
of the pizza box.
no, Rick, you don't have to
And we
explain
created
it.
a scooper.
Yeah. Stop, Radar.
At least it didn't. At
Visualize
least one thing I will say though, I don't know how
Reds against pizza.
it
You're
didn't.
MacGyver.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, and to top it off, after they're cleaning it, we rolled the dude down the hallway, stole somebody's reef that was on the door, put it around him, and went into the elevator.
I almost got evicted because of these guys, mind you.
That's my pizza story. Evil Dead Rise 4.5.
All right.
You fucker.
Joe the psychologist.
So it's my turn. I know. All right. Listen,
You
I
get
am.
my shot ready. Go ahead.
Hold on. Yeah, no, I'm gonna take a shot after he's done. I don't want him to blow my buzz. I'm gonna do it after he's done. Anything less than a 3, I'm gonna log off and
It's gonna be less than. It actually started out as a 3. So
no way. This movie, no way. This is impossible.
So no,
That's not bad.
you got to give me my opportunity.
You also got to
to-
understand the stuff that we review and we give higher scores to.
Okay,
and this gets
so
a 3.
let me just explain my thought process on this. I am the old school who saw this the way the original started. So I have basically not a platform. What's the word?
You didn't know that Raimi and Campbell created this, and they were behind this film.
Yeah,
Right?
I can't believe that. But anyway,
So
what do you call that? Not platform.
are you
like-
really saying this movie's trash, bro?
Perception?
not,
Maybe?
not perception?
Not
So,
perception?
so my problem was I went in expecting a lot.
Whose fault is that, though? Whose fault?
Mine.
And I get yelled at when I do that by him.
Mine. I will admit that. It's been a long time. I actually, truthfully, was not looking forward to the 2003?
2013.
2013. I wasn't.
Awesome.
And it was great. But for me, I didn't like the kid. I was Ellie. I did like Ellie. But other than that, I was not a fan of any other character. A lot of stupid mistakes made here. And even though you're going to call out that you made the mistake that you got
can't,
the book,
you can't use
you
that
played
mistakes thing. Again, we've seen a lot of movies that make stupid mistakes, so you can't. I'm not. Gonna
I get that, but when you actually call out that you made the mistake,
Mind you, every Evil Dead movie made the same mistake, but now this one you have a problem with.
so then why not
every-
change it?
and every
different?
ghost
Why
film.
not change it? Why
It's
not
part
make
of the
it different?
tradition, bro. That's all it is, bro.
Tradition.
Right? Yeah, Radar
Tradition.
knows. Look at Radar. He knows. Man.
I know, but
Modernized
you-
tradition.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you,
wait till
Lexi.
the next
No,
screen.
she's agreeing with us. What are you talking about, bro?
No, modernize it. Like literally.
No,
like,
you can't
just
modernize
change
it. How are you gonna modernize it? That's how.
I see what
The
you're
only way to,
saying.
modernize it is to purposely read the passages on purpose. You can't read them on
Right.
purpose. So there got to be some idiot doing it by,
I get that. I just, on my own fault, went
His own
in
fault.
expecting a lot more. I'm giving you what you asked for, Rick. So I went in expecting a lot more.
I never want to hear you talk
It
to him
did
about
not-
JR again, bro.
It did not-
Bingo. I want to hear that shit because always
This
tell
dude, yo.
movie.
Ricky is currently flogging Joe on a live
Because
stream.
yo,
No,
I gotta
no,
roast him.
no,
I gotta
no.
roast him because not one person was like down
Put it on
about
the
this.
pedestal, JR.
I'm
You
not
gotta
down.
stop
That's the
thinking
whole
that
point.
way.
Like,
A 3
Because-
is down, bro. A 3 for
I
this movie.
started
Holy
there because
Oh, he lowered it.
you guys brought up a lot of points.
shit.
that I
Yeah, Joe.
missed.
Yeah, I'm fucking with you.
I know you're fucking me. So let me think about this for a second.
And he thinks Hereditary is better.
I don't think Hereditary is better. Actually, this was
Oh,
better than
hell no.
Hereditary.
Oh, thank
So-
God.
My point was expectations were not delivered. That's all.
Yeah, that's
Let
fine.
me just clarify expectations and what I was thinking I was going 2013 up the ante on what I saw younger. Right? 2013? Is that what you said? Yeah.
Yeah, 2013.
So
10 years,
so
10 years,
like
10 years.
that was a fucking amazing movie. gore, storyline. You know what? Even the most unlikable character was likable. But for me, this one, I just didn't like the characters. Couldn't connect with anyone.
You're all dead though. You don't have to. Only Ellie.
The live people. The live people.
One person.
The
That and
2013
little
one
girl?
is better than this one.
So
Hot take.
I like for me, I just couldn't connect. Like I didn't like the storyline.
But it's just what the story. So what's the storyline in Evil Dead
I'm
2?
taking this off, man. I am taking this off, man.
Huh?
You like the storyline?
Hold on. What's the storyline in Evil Dead 1 and 2? What's the storyline?
Well, you had drug addiction on the first one.
No.
No, I'm talking about
First
2013.
Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. What's the storyline?
Oh no,
There is-
you're not doing this to me.
There is no storyline. There is no storyline.
There is
The
no one,
original?
but that was a great. Some
Listen,
of the
Evil
some of
Dead
the
1.
old, some of the old school storyline, some of the old school movies did not need a storyline, right? If you're gonna
So
call it
this does because
Some
it's
of
a
them
new
does.
movie.
but
It's
I just-
evolved.
the evolving thing. You're right. Thank
All
you,
right, Joe, come
Radar.
on, man. You keep bringing them. I'm gonna keep knocking you down, bro.
Oh.
I'm not accepting that. I'm not accepting the
Uh-oh.
storyline.
Hold on.
Because if
We
you're an
gotta
Evil
throw
Dead,
hands on the
Wait,
screen.
all right.
These are Evil Dead.
I'm taking these off because these are the stuff he knocks me for.
Hey, I do it at JR. Gotta be fair, right?
Mhm.
You do it. You do it. I got. Hold
Gotta be
on.
fair.
Oh, they both do it. Like, oh, you get
Yeah.
horror. There's no storyline in horror.
There is,
Look.
come on, this guy said no storyline. Evil Dead 2 has no storyline. It's the same
It
movie.
doesn't.
It's the
It
same
doesn't.
concept.
But you don't need to repeat that formula.
They
Because
didn't.
you're-
They
you
didn't.
don't
They're
have
in-
to.
This movie is completely different than those movies.
It is.
In case you
I
haven't
didn't like the. So
figured
my
it out.
point. I didn't like the characters.
Yeah, but
I
Evil
couldn't-
Dead 2, well, other than Ash, who was
I
likable in
think
that
Radar,
movie?
me, and JR need to order pizza while they argue.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
So
I
this
know.
one, this
I'm
one makes it
thinking
interesting.
Xbox
This one makes it
because
interesting. We
I
gotta,
get
you
killed
know.
for this.
Y'all want
I
a
love it, I love
Supreme
it.
or
I'm not even mad. I'm just fun. I'm not
No,
playing.
Not
with
a
you.
No. I don't.
Not a
Well, no,
poppy
here's
popcorn.
the
Yeah,
thing.
you guys
I-
see me upset.
I don't have to get into all
It's
logicals. I just.
I
got
know.
I'm sorry, Joe. Go, Joe. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I keep cutting off. Go, go.
I like my whole thing. I because we're at a different time, Rick. Where I guess back then
Watch it
you didn't
again,
need
watch it
story.
again, watch it
You didn't
again,
need storylines. You didn't need all this stuff. We're in a more elevated time. where
Oh,
you have
he's
storylines
elevated. Oh
and
no, he used the word
characters.
elevated. Oh
I did.
no, oh no.
Yep, this was elevated.
elevated like the elevator in
Joe,
Evil
I
Dead
feel like
Rise?
I felt like I felt the same way as what you're saying, Joe. Is I
I'm trying to
expected
put it into words. I'm having a little.
Yeah.
The Stella is helping, not helping actually.
No, no, you
I
don't-
expected
put it
I
down,
went
you
in
don't wanna
expecting
put
being
it
at the
in, bro.
cabin, like Evil Dead original 1 and 2 were. I
don't like
expected
that, though.
going
I don't
in.
need that. I'm
we
glad
went-
it wasn't. I'm glad it wasn't
Oh,
because
all right. But
But
again,
we have
wasn't
to
a
think
cabin,
of it this way. We
Joe
went
would've
from the
been like, oh,
80s,
it's the same
now
movie.
2023. It has to be updated. It has to
it had to be
Well,
updated.
It has to
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
I did not like the update. How about that? I didn't like the
Mm,
update.
You want it back in the
The
cabin
movie
again?
as
you want it
a
back in the
whole.
yeah. You want it back in the
Hold on,
cabin?
No.
Yes.
What do you want
God.
then? What are you looking for?
Yeah.
That's what you had the 2013 one for in the cabin.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
remember-
that's- by the way,
Yeah.
Well,
Keep going
before,
again.
before you guys keep going, the rate is a 4.
He's getting
Before
mad.
they keep.
Oh, shit. All right.
So
Joe's
the rate is
coming out here with
Keep
the
going,
four.
keep going. I'm sorry,
But
man.
these two buttholes want to keep battering me. My rate is a 4.
Okay.
No, no.
I was
Hold on, hold on.
actually at 3.5 on this.
Look, keep going.
I'm trying to. I didn't think that these guys.
Hold on, I gotta get Adam. Yeah, Evil Dead. Yeah. You know
It
what?
was much better.
Evil, before I'm gonna Joe, I'm gonna give you the floor. But what I was trying to, I'm fucking with you. But what I was trying to get
It's
at
okay.
before,
You can, bro.
the-
You can
the
fuck me all you want.
Whoa, whoa.
the Alvarez film
So good.
was a take on the first film. The first film had no humor in it, right?
Mhm.
This film to me is a love letter to Evil Dead 2 because there
Yes.
was
Yes.
the blend of both worlds in my opinion. So go ahead, Joe.
And again, I guess my whole point is, I know. Thank you. My
man's
my
about to be that
own
crucified
own
Jesus in a hole.
anticipation and what I was expecting did not live up to it. It's my fault.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm
I
gonna
know.
put that out. It's my
I'm
fault.
fucking with you. Hey,
I
man,
went
I
went
know.
in thinking that this was, and especially honestly,
I'm getting you back for Psycho Gorman. That's all I gotta say.
I'm getting you back for every
Gorman
time
was
you freaking tell me about it, don't go in there, you know, think of the hype.
You well, no, I agree with you on this. Is the whole thing with the hype thing?
No, I know. I
But
know.
my own hype came from myself.
But Joe, I do agree with a lot of your points, though. So I'm just don't take me-
Is
I'm
that
just
is
fucking-
that for me like compared to all the other Evil Dead movies, this is probably more lower compared to all the other ones.
I
All
agree.
right. you know, and it's not that I'm an asshole about it.
No,
it's
no.
Just,
Where would you
it's
put it?
just-
Though? That's a good question. Where would you put it though?
I
That
was
is, that's fascinating.
so listen.
not
Originally,
that
I was at
Radar
a 3.
put his.
I saw Radar. Yeah.
Well, no,
Yeah,
I mean,
Radar
like
put
for
his
me,
top
for
5.
like
That's right, I did.
Yeah.
Radar, recap it. What was your top 5 for the Evil Dead?
All right.
well, we're getting there at the end. I'm
Yeah,
not even done,
okay,
bro.
yeah, I was gonna say let Joe get
Damn,
crucified
fucking-
first, and then you
damn,
can
JR.
crucify me.
Well, you already gave your score. I mean,
But
We don't
because
need
you guys
you
didn't let
anymore,
me
Joe.
finish explaining it why.
No, let him
I
finish.
wanted to
He's right.
explain to you
Go ahead.
guys. I gave it a
He's right.
score of 4.
Hey man, it's the
you guys
alcohol
were
talk
jumping
already.
on me, and originally I did start out as a 3.
Yeah, but
Yo.
Joe's getting some hate, Maybe.
He is. Oh man.
I probably should watch it again.
I will
and
watch
I
it
say
again.
that all the time. I literally am from me, JR, and Rick, the one to tell everybody watch a movie more than once.
Yeah, you are a you are a component.
I'm literally the first person to tell everybody here when we do a movie.
I am.
watch
usually
it.
the first one.
No, it's me.
No.
Okay, we're
Oh,
not.
here we go.
Fine,
Hold on.
fine,
Wait. JR, what's your...
I'm usually the one that says, "Yo, you have to watch this movie a second time."
I'm the one that says that. So maybe
No,
we both
well, you
agree
know that
that.
for Malaysia.
Listen, Midnight. Listen, Midnight. TV 16. But anyway,
It was better than Malaysia.
I'll agree with you on that one. But
I was gonna
anyways,
say I didn't want to jump on Joe. I go, yeah, I think you think Midnight is better than.
so I'm just again, my fault in this before you guys all jump on is that I went into the movie theaters looking to see something that I grew up on, watch.
Right.
Compared to the Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, and the new Evil Dead, all those for me, were for superior. I didn't hate this movie.
It's superior. But you said superior.
All those,
or
all those.
Far
Like,
superior.
If I put
He
in
said
order,
far
Evil
superior.
Dead
He said far.
Rise,
He said
E-
far superior. Wow.
Evil Dead Rise
Superior, I
would
could
be
take,
in the
though.
bottom of compared to all the other ones.
Watch it again. I honestly
You're
don't.
right,
All
you're
jokes
right.
aside,
Listen,
all jokes aside, though, really, I think
Rick,
because if you like Evil Dead, because you do, I think if you watch it again under a different microscope, forget us. Forget
you're
us.
right. You're
You
right.
might,
Truthfully,
or you might
Yeah.
like it less, like I do.
no,
with
no.
Scream, so you never know.
I'm trying to explain. Like,
don't
I
know about
agree.
them at all, no.
I agree.
No.
I saw it the first time, so I'm going by my first review. I've told you guys when we do our reviews, and JR also said it. Let's watch a movie more than once. Because your first initial reaction is different than when you watch it more than once.
He's right.
Mhm.
Compared
That's why I
to
watched it twice.
compared to the other ones, I just didn't feel this was like as good as all the other ones.
Yeah, I agree.
I
agree with
didn't
that.
hate it.
I
I
agree.
understand. No.
I at all did not.
I know.
hate
Hey
it.
man,
I didn't hate it. My
Out of
problem
all the
was
Evil
that-
Dead, this isn't number 1.
My
No,
problem
no,
is
no.
I liked Ash. I liked Mia. You had so many likable characters in all the other movies. I did. Alyssa that's her name, right?
Yeah, she was awesome. I
She
love
was great in her acting after she became a Cenobite. Before that, not so
Okay,
much.
skip.
No, wait. You said she was bad actress before that?
No, meaning likable. Like
Oh,
the way
likable.
that.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
she was-
But like I'm like I literally am. It's a. 4.
You're right though. These characters like Beth, not memorable at all.
That's what I'm saying. Like
The
it
kids,
was
not
there was a-
memorable.
Yeah,
So
there
I
was a
agree with
lot in
that.
this movie that it didn't. It didn't live up to my own hype, mine. But it was
We
compared
gotta
to
stop,
all
guys.
other
We gotta
ones.
stop doing this hype stuff, man. I keep telling
We
everyone.
all do it.
I don't do
We
I don't
go
do
into
that.
movies,
Texas
especially.
Chainsaw Massacre.
Ricky Grimes
Yeah,
don't do that.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre was one
I ain't
that we
forgetting
all,
that one.
Hey, and I'll
we
only.
all went in.
I
on
like the
that
gore
one, like,
scenes. I like the gore scenes, but I
scenes,
never said it was a
terrible
great
fucking
movie.
I will say one thing, Joe. Is
I'm
if you pick up on the Evil Dead franchise so far as it stands, they only have one character that you actually like in every single one.
Ash.
And the first three is
You're right.
Ash.
You're right. You're right.
The fourth one was Mia. Everybody else, everybody else
agree.
you didn't care for because they were all basically setting themselves on their own pedestal. And this one, the Ellie character, you kind of felt for her because you know for
We're
mother to be
parents.
put in
We're
that
parents.
yes,
So
for
as a
mother to be
parent,
put in
as a
that
parent, you
position
can
by herself have the weight of the world,
yes.
and
As a
then
parent,
to bring her down was the fault of one of her children.
who fucked up, who went into
Yes,
a hole,
and I think
hole that opened up after an earthquake.
yeah, and I think that was for me what made the Ellie character great because she had the weight of the world on her shoulders, and everybody continued to screw her and beat her down, which is the demons always pick the weak-minded.
Weak one. She
And
wasn't
was
weak
the one
though.
that, but she was beaten
wasn't weak
down.
though. She
was
wasn't weak.
beaten, but she was beaten
Yes.
down to the
Yes.
point where she did not know what to do. And when she went down to wash his clothes, it was her way of getting away from everybody.
I agree.
Fortunately, the jerk of a son who I don't know, he looked like Justin Bieber, Justin Timberlake at the same time. I want to punch that kid in the face. I think
Yeah.
So I'm laughing. I'm laughing because Radar and Lexi are like sitting there, like, oh my god, we're like
Ordering
watching
pizza.
we're watching a family sitting here fighting right now. Like we're
Can we
not
stop
involved.
talking
Oh, wait.
I love-
Look. This is what Adam said.
It's all love. It's all love.
That's pillow talk tonight.
Anyway.
Thank you, Adam.
I just called it.
I think the most important thing is at the end of the day, we all know that there's no such thing as a bad Evil Dead movie, and that's what counts.
Facts.
So far,
I
yeah.
agree.
So
Yes.
far, yeah.
So far.
Yeah.
They did good protecting the franchise. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I was ready for you guys. I mean, like I said. Well, no, and again, I'm
I
gonna
just
blame
pictured
it
Joe
on.
in the elevator like this, being strangled.
It's still not good. Like, but no, I mean, listen, you guys actually helped me push my score up, truthfully, because I did start out lower. It started out lower because I'm the cult following of the original Evil Dead, and you have a lot of standards to
too.
live up to.
Joe, you saw the original in the theater, you said?
No, I saw it
Oh.
at a fucking college.
Oh,
I
wow.
went to go visit my cousin, and his girlfriend invited us to a party that involved for them to put a VHS tape to watch The Evil Dead, and we drank beer. And that's how I got introduced to Evil Dead.
Evil Dead
because-
is definitely a beer drinking like
It
friends.
was a
That's how
cult-
you discover it, right?
That's
I was
how
like
it is.
19, smoking a lot of weed when I first saw Evil Dead 1. So it was awesome.
I would say one thing though, and I'm always the one talking about this in a way, is when you make a film that's part of a franchise, you want to separate it from the original as
include
well as keep certain parts of the
Yes.
original intact.
And it did.
So 2013 for me, when I first heard 2013 was coming out, I was like, oh man, how are they gonna do this? And it
Right.
surprised me because you didn't have you didn't have the expectation, like you were saying. You didn't have the expectation of how it
Thank
was
you.
going to come out. And the fact that for me, if I was to rate it, 2013 is probably the second best out of the Evil Dead franchise.
Agreed.
Right after
Ooh.
the first Evil Dead.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
So if I was
agree with
to
him.
rate it, I would put Evil Dead,
You know what's funny?
Evil Dead 2013.
Maybe don't watch my video on my ranks.
Evil Dead 2013. Then I would put probably Army of Darkness. No, Evil Dead 2. And I would put this one in Army of Darkness last for me. That's just
And again, it's almost the same thing that I would have done. I'm not. It's not a negative movie. I thoroughly did enjoy the movie. You guys, and I want you guys to think I did not. But gore missing. Rick.
No, I want to say it's missing. It's gore in the movie.
Wait
But
for
But
the
not
next
the way
but
that
for us, though, for us,
Black
like,
Giraffe.
it's missing
Back
for
her
us.
up. And Lexi said the same thing. So I mean, Lexi's the same thing. So it's like
No, I know,
Yeah.
I agree.
I
For
was-
us, it's missing. But for
Mhm.
for a casual audience, no one's complaining about that because to them it's like gruesome. But for us,
we're not a casual audience.
I
We're
know that.
horror movie
listen, bro, you
reviewers.
understand though? These studios make movies to make money. So
They do.
that's why they do what they do. So you got to look at it from that lens as well. Now, for toning it down though, they did a really good job because it's still, in my opinion, a great film. Even with the gore slightly toned down compared to the 2013 version.
But also remember, this is leading to the jump off. So you don't remember. Basically, the first portion of the movie and the end portion of the movie is a kickoff to the next sequel. Which, if they had that gore for that one set up, you could just imagine how they. And Lee Cronin said it; he's going to step it up. But like I said, for me, this film was to bring in that audience, bring in the people who don't know Evil Dead, who don't know Ash.
You have to, yeah.
And they bring them in now. Now people are hooked because this thing did have an 80% like a viewer score on Rotten Tomatoes, which you don't really see. The critic score and the viewer score is literally the same on Rotten Tomatoes. Rarely. You know, either one's lower or these were exactly the same because now they got that fan base set. I was like, all right. So Lee Cronin was like, you know what? Now I can set it up in the next film. So next film, my expectation.
No expectations, please.
No. But I'm saying gore-wise.
I'm gonna go with Rick.
Gore-wise,
immediately you're gonna like it if you go with expectations.
But gore-wise, it's going to be gore-wise, it's going to be better because he's already said expect the next one because I already have 4 different ideas for the next one. Expect more.
Wasn't one of the ideas like a story about the people who got to wake up the next morning and clean the whole fucking
No, he's talking about. No, he's talking about just the gore itself. He's just talking about kill scenes. He's gonna step up on the kill scenes, but this is a good way to reset the franchise in a way because they're gonna have more films to come, which is good. I mean, it did a good job in that. If you're gonna build on a franchise, do something that's gonna hook the people. Don't keep doing the repetition over and over
again. Especially for the Gen Zs.
Yeah, I know. Like Lexi, you want the cabin, but
Gen X, thank you.
I did.
But think about
it's not that I wanted it. It was I expected it, and then it would just threw me off.
But think about what Rick said. Now we have a franchise that actually introduced the 3 books. Yeah. So now what holds for the next one? Yes. True. Now what holds for the next one is that the 3 books are introduced. Now, there was a rumor before that when the 2013 came out, that afterwards Ash was going to return as the character.
I'm telling you, he's coming back. I think he's coming back.
If they
cannot finish this without him.
If they do the next sequel with Ash and Mia together,
well, I did read
Ash versus Evil Dead. You guys, everyone watched that series, Ash versus Evil Dead?
I did not.
My God,
I gotta watch
it. You neither, GR?
No,
you guys complaining about this movie.
Well, I didn't have stars.
Joe, you need stars. I saw
it's on Netflix though.
Joe, they're taking it off. You gotta watch it now. Binge it.
Oh, all right.
Get on it.
Get on it. It's leaving it within a week. No, hold on.
I can do that.
You guys are shitting on this movie. You didn't even see Ash.
I didn't shit on the movie. I gave it a 4. I gave it a fucking 4. Nobody went under a 4 in this movie.
That's called getting a reaction. I got
you. I've seen the Asher series. No.
Thank you. I know you did, but JR, you neither? Come on.
I started watching it, but I lost Showtime.
So but it's on Netflix, but it's leaving. It's leaving. Binge it. You guys binge all types of shows.
God damn, bro.
Binge this one. Trust me, it's leaving. If you don't binge it now, you're never gonna see it. And the way this ended, trust me, you're gonna want it. And this ended with a sequel for a season 4, but it got canceled.
Right.
I think they're gonna take that now. They might put them into the next this movie. I'm done. I'm dry right now.
Oh, you need more beer?
All right, Lexi's gotta leave soon, so let's wrap. Let's get ready to.
I know. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us on this live review. It was a fun and brutal. Even though they all tried to beat up on me.
It's for fun.
Not me. I try to help.
Thank you, Lexi. You did try to help. I'm still going to stick to my review. And they actually helped me, even though they still beat up on me. But thank you for joining us. This was fun. It was the first live review that we did. And first of all, how the fuck have we not done this before, Rick? Because this is better than the way we normally do it.
We'll do it again. We'll do it again.
No. Meaning that this time, even the editing would have been minimal for Rick on this one, as compared to the way that we normally do it. So, thank you for joining us. Keep an eye out. Something super might be coming up.
Rick got.
No, okay, I'm sorry. I forgot Lexi has to leave.
We're gonna say Rick.
I was gonna
ahead.
say we never got Radar's his list though. We never got
Okay,
his
do your
list.
list real quick.
Oh.
Right, your top 5.
Evil Dead, Evil Dead.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
the Evil Dead. Oh, yeah.
All right.
All right.
Now remember, everyone. There's no such thing as a bad Evil Dead movie.
No.
I do not love. I
Some
do
film
not
has
hate.
to be last now, so yeah, I get it.
I don't hate.
Let me
any
grab my
Evil
bottle
Dead.
right now.
He said it because of me.
So my least, coming in at 5 out of 5, at the bottom, is the Evil Dead remake. I know, but
Look at Joe.
Nah, hey man,
No,
Joe,
no.
you could shit on this one. Let Radar get his shot.
all right, number 4, the original. All right, it was the tree rape. It's really weird.
No, you know
It's
what?
really
though?
weird.
It's part of it.
If you go back and watch the original,
Yeah, it's not as good.
It's a rough film.
It's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
It punches its way. Never mind. I won't bring it up. 3 is Army of Darkness. I actually really like Army of Darkness because of the
I did
cheese.
too.
It's fun. It's a fun movie.
Evil Dead Rise at number 2, and then I love Evil Dead 2, number 1.
Yeah.
My man.
I agree
my
with that.
man, Yeah.
Wow.
That's
Evil
the
Dead
best
2
one.
is number 1 for me.
All right, so that wraps it up for
Thank you,
the
Radar.
Corners of Horror. With
I
the
had
fourth
fun.
corner.
Radar, welcome. Like,
Yeah,
you're
Thank you.
awesome.
Glad to be
I'm
here.
telling you,
I
man.
guess you can show up again. I don't know.
Nah, he was up again.
That's
What
it,
was it Rick says? He's like, yo, Radar's always positive.
Oh,
I'm
man.
positive.
Yeah, come on, nigga.
Not for this video, but now I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I just glad I have all this animal stacked up for our next reviews.
Yeah.
Hold on. So does Joe though.
What?
Look at Joe got ammo too. Look at Joe.
Oh, he's ready to go.
Ammo.
Anyways,
Anyway,
So- thank you for joining us. We had a blast. At least I had a blast, even though I got beat up. But it's okay. I'm used to it. So.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I can do that. Trust me.
Oh, that's the best way to end the live stream right there.
So,
all right. I agree. Let's go.
join us next time. We got a couple episodes coming up. All of us have shows are going to be dropping shortly. So, thank you for joining us. It was a lot of fun. And with that, good night, everybody.
And protect your pizza.
Rick,
I want
Get the line, Rick. Get the line, Rick.
As Rick would say.
Stay scared. Peace.
Peace.